Can it get much worse? Like, what am I going to do?
I don't want to end up on the street, but that's how I'm seeing myself.
I'm seeing a lot of stress, a lot of disappointment, frustration.
The simple act of renting is turning into a fierce battle.
We don't need to run these kind of competitive blood sport type style of finding a new home.
The rent is increasing and I just can't see myself being able to afford that rent.
Renters being thrown to the real estate lions.
I've decided to suck it up and pay the extra.
4 women, Millie.
I know they're a business, they're making money, but it just feels really hurtful at this time when we're already suffering.
Ingrid.
There's literally no hope for me.
Sandra.
The clock is ticking and I'm just quite fearful.
And Kristen.
I feel like I have a mother that has failed her kids.
They live in different parts of the country and they're all caught in Australia's rental crisis. Millie Bannister is 26, living her best life in Sydney after moving from Brisbane 10 months ago. But now the rent on her 2-bedroom unit is going up 35%.
So that's an extra $230 a week on our 2-bedroom, which is around $12,000 a year. So even split between 2 young people, that's an extra $6,000 before tax that you've got to then account for in your budget when your salary isn't changing.
Meriton is one of Australia's largest builders of apartments. It manages almost 10,000, including the one Millie lives in. The company recently emailed owners of those 10,000 apartments urging them to
push as hard as you can. The market is hot, students are coming back. Push for 6-month leases so we can increase the rent more during the year.
For 75-year-old Sandra in Adelaide, things are getting desperate. She was warned her rent would rise by 10%. That $30 is more than her pension can stretch, so she's looking to move elsewhere.
Now I started doing that in last September and I just can't find a property to rent that's affordable for me.
Even in regional areas.
And I applied for 10 properties in that area, which were really affordable, and I thought that I'd be really happy living there. And I was passed over every time.
As she says, the clock's ticking. Next month she gets her marching orders.
I don't want to be a whinger, and I'm a very independent woman, but now I need help. I don't want to end up on the street, but that's how I'm seeing myself at the moment.
And that's where Ingrid is.
I've been homeless technically since April 21.
Searching desperately for something she can afford in 3 states.
Victoria, New South Wales and Queensland. If you have a look how many rentals are available in the 3 states combined, it's only under 120 at the moment.
So home for Ingrid and her 2 dogs is her car, in roadside camps.
You have to leave camp early. If you're staying there long term, the rangers don't like you to be there when they come to do their check-in. So I have to leave at like 4 or 5 in the morning, and then I go to another location where I can have a shower. And then I spend the morning doing stuff like refilling my ice, walking my dogs, just like preparing for the day. I mean, emotionally, it's really hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there's some days where it's like Groundhog Day, so I just wanna give up, and I can't give up. Like, what can I do? I can't go anywhere.
Mother of 3, Kristen, is in Perth.
I feel like I have a mother that has failed her kids because she cannot put a roof over their heads.
Also living out of her car, she's praying for a miracle.
It's not something that the government should be allowing, a 3-year wait for 3 children on the streets.
We're hearing every day from people who are applying for sometimes hundreds of properties and missing out.
Tenants Union of New South Wales CEO Leo Patterson-Ross.
We're seeing lines of hundreds of people lining up for apartments. We're seeing people traipsing across the city, applying for place after place that they're not going to get.
The vacancy rate is at an all-time low. In Sydney and Melbourne, just 1% of rental properties are available to rent. Brisbane's vacancy rate sits at 0.8%. But in Hobart, it's half that, and in Perth and Adelaide, it's worse, just 0.3%. That means for every 300 rental properties there, one is free. And it's spreading outside the capitals.
It's actually regional towns where there's been a large influx. That's where we're seeing that the biggest increase in people sleeping in really unsafe and unsuitable places.
A lot of them are children. Some of them have never been to school and they're 6 and 7. It's affecting so many people. And I don't see an end to it.
I know there's other women like myself out there. They need help also. Where do people go my age?
Well, there have been calls for rental rises to be capped at 10%, but the truth is it won't solve the problem. The only real solution is for more houses to be built, and that we know will take time.